The 11th term of an arithmetic sequence is 52, and the 19th term is 92. Find the 1000th term. We could actually write these out and try and figure out what the 12th, 13th, 14th, etc. terms were, but there is a clever way to do this. We do have a formula that we can use when we're dealing with the terms of an arithmetic sequence. Specifically, a sub n is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d. Now, we don't actually know what the first term is, and we don't actually know what the common difference is, but the two pieces of information we have, namely the 11th term and the 19th term, are enough to figure that out. And the way that we're going to do this is by substituting in the information we're given, which will actually give us a system of equations. Let me show you how. We know that the 11th term, which we would get by taking a plus 11 minus 1 times d, is equal to 52. And we know that the 19th term, which we get by looking at a times 19 minus 1 times d, is equal to 92. Once we know these two facts, we end up with a system of two equations in two variables that will allow us to solve for a and d. First, I'm going to evaluate what's in the parentheses just to make this simpler. We've got a plus 10d equals 52, and we got a plus 18d equals 92. And now we have a nice system of two equations with two variables. We can solve this with substitution, we can solve this with elimination, we can solve this with row operations or matrices, really any way we want. What I'm actually going to do is I am going to take the second equation minus the first equation because that will cancel out the a's. When I do that, the a's cancel. With the d's, we've got 18d minus 10d, which gives us 8d. And then on the right-hand side, 92 minus 52 is 40. So I've got 8d equals 40, and when I divide by 8, that tells me d equals 5. So I've figured out the common difference. Once we know the common difference, we can substitute that into either of these equations to solve for a and get the first term. So we have a plus 10 times d, which in this case is 5, is 52. So that gives us a plus 50 equals 52. And when we subtract 50 from both sides, we end up with a equals 2. Once we know the first term a and the common difference d, we actually have a formula for the nth term. A sub n is equal to 2 plus n minus 1 times 5. And once we know that, we can find the 1000th term by evaluating this when n equals 1000. So the 1000th term is going to be 2 plus 1000 minus 1 times 5. So that'll be 2 plus 999 times 5. 999 times 5 is 4,995. And when we add 2 to that, we have 4,997, which is the 1000th term.